What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my personal channel. Welcome back to another video. This is probably the first live I think I'm ever doing on this channel. So we're breaking new records here. I got Iain from, we saying Blues Fans TV, or are we not saying that? We're just saying Craigo28.
Craigo28 football, if you really would like.
Yeah, go for it. There'll be a link down in the description below as well. So if you haven't done so already, go down to his channel and smash the subscribe button as well. Right after you smash the subscribe button for my channel as well and hit that like button too. Also, don't forget to press that bell notification button to be the first guy to know whenever I release any new content. I'm really getting used to just saying the same thing over and over again. But let's go straight into some of the Q&As, because I put a little thing out on Twitter saying that we're going to do something like this. We got a hell of a lot of questions in the first 15 minutes. First question, I'm going to go from someone that me and you both know very well. Ryan_Madden. You remember him, right? First question he asks, what will Willian offer Arsenal? Let's try and be as honest as possible on this.
They're getting a good player in Willian. They are going to get a good player, whether you want to admit it or not. For me, I think, he brings a great deal of experience, and that's the thing that I'm slightly worrying about. Lacazette, Aubameyang, even Pepe, to be fair, they've got enough experience around them, so I don't think they're going to gain much off of Willian being there. But I think the ones that I would think are going to gain most would be the likes of Saka, that kind of caliber of player. He does bring a lot. He's got pace as well. He hasn't necessarily shown it quite in the same way that he can. But on the counter-attack, he's not second to none, but he's a very viable option to have, especially when you're trying to stream forward and whatever. Set pieces, again, we know about, of course. He scored a hell of a lot of them this year, especially since the restart. Yeah. They're getting a good player. That's what they're getting. They're getting a good player, a guy that
definitely first season at least. I think definitely. First season will be class.
I think after a while people may start to figure it out and whatever. But I don't know if you remember this, but when Harry Kane started with Spurs, 2014-15, I think it was, first proper season starting, everyone was like, "Oh my God, how do you deal with this geezer?" And they didn't quite know what to do. And I think that could be something that he's going to necessarily bring to Arsenal. It's a case of, oh my God, how do we deal with this? Because of course, we've defended against Aubameyang and Pepe and Lacazette for last year. We know what we're kind of coming up against, especially first half of the year. If they get it right, I think they're going to have a real threat on their hands. Just because, again, if one person's not going to get you, the next person will. If that person, then they'll be the other side. You've got likelihood is, I know there are obviously rumours about Lacazette being sold, but you've still going to have Pepe, Aubameyang, and Willian, all three at least playing together in some way, shape, or form. Throw in the likes of Saka. I just think it's going to be an endless stream of pressure for certain teams that they will not be able to deal with.
I think with Willian, if you're going to ask me his one best trait, it's going to be ball carrying. Bar that, I think everything else all depends on his consistency and form. But ball carrying, beating 2-3 players and getting the ball into the final third, that's the best thing you can do, and his tracking back as well. His only main issue with us has just been, what does he do once he gets to the final third? Because he usually has that little deer in the headlights look, and he's just pauses too much and the attack just stops.
And that's what Arteta was saying about him. They apparently want him to play a bit more of a central role, so you could kind of see him bringing the ball out right the way through midfield, and then all of a sudden pass the ball out to Aubameyang, to whoever it is, and then let them do with it. If he has to take a shot from distance, then he can, but I think playing in a bit more of a central role, probably even slightly deeper, will mean he's allowed to kind of come back and drive the ball right up the middle of the pitch. And I think he'll be quite good at it. I do think they're going to get a very tidy player in Willian.
Yeah, this comment here as well saying about the defensive work rate and his tracking back. Another key part of his game. Another underrated one is that he never really gets injured. Like, I think if you look through the players who played the most minutes, Willian is usually there or thereabouts there. He's never really... Yeah, have you heard... Last time I've heard him under the serious injury for the club was... I don't even recognise that.
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. I remember I remember start of the season, was it last year? I think start of last year, he was a bit tired because he played it. Was it the Copa America? He played at some tournament. And you kind of look at it and think, okay, that's fair enough, I suppose. Got international stuff, but I've only ever really heard like tiredness, never like proper injuries, like he's done his knee or he's pulled his hamstring or whatever.
No, because we say that even with post-lockdown, Willian must have had the most minutes out of anyone in the squad.
Yeah, probably
by a mile. Because he only got rested for, I think, was it the cup final? No, he was injured for the cup final. I think it was only the Wolves game he didn't play for.
Injured.
Yeah, injured. AK, you saw exactly what happened to Pedro, and he's like, that is not going to be me, because that could have really messed up his Roma transfer as well. Let's see, is there any other questions that anyone else has sent us? This one's a more casual one. First ever Chelsea shirt you owned?
Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know what the first one is. I probably had some when I was a kid, but the instant one that springs to mind is I remember the first player I chose to get on the back of a shirt. I had, especially as a child, I had a pretty bad luck of choosing Chelsea players to go on the back of my shirt. I had Shevchenko, I had Joe Cole, got injured, didn't do well. I had a few iffy ones. Sean Wright-Phillips I had on the back of my shirt as well. But the first one I properly remember getting was the white, I think it was the 03, 04, and then when it became the 04, 05 alternative shirt. It was the white with the blue and black stripe down the middle.
Yeah, that's a class
Incredible shirt, but I got Mutu on the back of it.
Tell you what, Mutu right now, that would be sick. I'd rock a Mutu shirt with pride. We've had a lot worse.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. As a child, it didn't necessarily work quite the same way.
Imagine.
Yeah, I think that's...
What's that doing? If you walk around with a Mutu shirt.
Jordan would.
That's a Jordan joke, straight up. Now, mine was, what was it? I think it was 06, 07, the home kit. I still need to get that one back in my size.
Yeah.
I had that with John Terry on the back, and yeah, it was the old Premier League printing, like the one before they had that new one straight for 07, 08.
Yeah, proper. Really nice printing.
Looking at this comment, do you think Willian has been overshadowed by Eden Hazard over the last couple of years?
I think most people are overshadowed by Eden Hazard, aren't they? I mean, he was that good. I mean, we were having this debate in a little group chat that we're in. I wouldn't call him a Chelsea legend, Willian. And we were having this debate before, and I'm not going to get into it now because it could go nuts. I don't call him a Chelsea legend, where I would call Hazard a Chelsea legend, because he carried the team on multiple occasions. He played big games for us, big goals, big performances. The guy was a big-time player. And I don't necessarily see Willian as that. He's been a good player down the years for Chelsea, and he's been a better player for Chelsea down the years. But to say that he's been overshadowed by Hazard, I think is unfair, because Hazard, for me, I don't know about for you, but for me, he was the absolute real deal. He was the dogs, absolutely the dogs.
Bro, Hazard has like 50-year-old Chelsea fans saying that he's probably the most talented player they've ever seen play for the club. If that doesn't say anything for how good he was, then nothing else is. Exactly. You're right, it is hard to get overshadowed by Eden Hazard, but the same way we've got to be realistic about Willian's form and his numbers as well. This season it's been his best season for Chelsea this season, right? I don't think 15-16 he had the same numbers. I might be wrong.
I don't know, but again, I mean, I know what I'm going to say to it. Even if it is his best year, it's because a large chunk of his goals have come from penalties.
Exactly.
Because Jorginho hasn't been in the team, and he is one of the more experienced players in the team.
Yeah, I think Jorginho was our second highest goal scorer before lockdown anyways. And most of them were penalties regardless, by the Arsenal one.
Yeah.
We've got another question here from the Twitter group chat. They're saying, who's worse, Rudiger or Christensen?
Christensen.
You go Christensen sell over Rudiger?
Yeah.
Really? Because I was going the other way around. I don't know if we discussed this on your channel in that. What was the video that we did again? Was it the 405 million to spend?
Yeah, 405 million, that people thought we generally had 405 million rather than we could have 405 million. People went nuts about it.
People just get rattled over anything.
Oh,
but
yeah,
really,
right.
You'd keep Rudiger over Christensen.
If I'll be honest with you, I would let both go. I would let both go. But if I had to keep one, I'm keeping Rudiger.
Okay, sell this one to me.
So Christensen has been in the Premier League for 3 years.
Yep.
So I love that. Rudiger more bad. Christensen has been in the league for 3 years. He has been a starting player. He's been a role player. He's played in a back three and a back four. He's done it all. But I've never seen an elite performance from him. I've seen some good games.
From Christensen?
Yeah, I've never seen an elite performance from him.
What,
And
you don't think that?
I look at so many different things that we've done in terms of Premier League football, but the one thing that will always get me, is when we played Barcelona and Willian had an absolute masterclass against them in 2017-18. We went 1-0 up and then we got battered away.
Nah, but here's the thing. Before that game, Christensen was one of our best centre-backs. Because that's the thing, that little period before that Barcelona game when we were playing him for David Luiz, genuinely one of the best centre-backs in the league. He was so composed, above his age. And it was that one Barcelona game, and since then, he had the mistake against United. And then I think he had a mistake against City as well. And then it all just started going on top of him.
But see, this is just what you're saying there. Barcelona, Man United, Man City, big games, big games. And again, the Premier League is an all-right league if you want to be an all-right side. If you want to go and be an elite side, it's a bloody hard league to be in. And I don't think I see Christensen as that elite centre-half that week in, week out can go and do absolutely everything perfectly. I'm not going to say Rudiger is either, but one thing I will say about Rudiger is he's a bit more aggressive, he's a bit more physical, he is a powerhouse essentially, and also he's faster. He doesn't try and play these stupid 5-10 yard passes that don't need to be played, where Christensen, I think, sometimes not quite a rabbit in the headlights like maybe Willian is when he goes forward, but certain times he's unsure what to do. For this really calm, composed centre-half, okay, but I wouldn't keep him around at the club over Rudiger, 1,000,000%. Because at least Rudiger can get forward. And Rudiger also has scored goals for us.
Yeah, Christensen's still yet to score for us, I think.
And how long have you been in the first team, we said? 3 years?
3 years, yeah. But the thing you said about Rudiger and his aggression, don't you think that comes both ways? And that's one of his, like...
Oh, yeah.
Look at the second goal in the FA Cup final, for example. Oh, yeah. He's the guy that ran straight out at Bellerin, and Bellerin just caught him out.
Yeah, no.
The defence was exposed.
I'm not going to defend Rudiger for all of it. I mean, he is not a decent centre-half. He's not an elite centre-half that we're after. But one thing I will say, again, is if you do have that little bit of a physicality, if you do have that little bit of a mindset where if you do need to go up one-on-one against someone, he's going to be able to deal with it more. If I had to look at it and go Kane against Christensen or Rudiger, I'm picking Kane against Rudiger. It'll be more of a battle. Where Christensen is, okay, it's nice, we get to play out from the back, he can put in the odd challenge here and there. Where even, to be fair, if Rudiger's going to take down the man, at least he takes down the man. Where every now and again I just see Christensen kind of put a foot in and go, missed it. I mean, and stuff like that. And just least one-on-one opportunities, and then that's how you can see goals. At least, if you're going to take out the man like Rudiger does, he is not the perfect centre-half at all. If you're going to take down the man, at least do it properly. At least do it properly. I think I just think Christensen I think Christensen is going to be a much better player if he went to La Liga.
Maybe because it's more based on the
physical centre half in La Liga as well as being a ball player.
Mm.
You look at the likes of Ramos. I love Ramos. I know people give him a lot of stick. I love him. If you look at Ramos and think you can play in the Premier League, you're a good ball player and you're physical. Again, he gives away free kicks and fouls and gets sent off all the bloody time. But you could still see him more in the Premier League than you could potentially see. Pretty much what you could see of Ramos going in the Premier League is what you could kind of see Christensen doing in La Liga, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I couldn't necessarily see Rudiger going the other way and being worth a shed load of money. But I think Christensen...
How much did we get him for? Was it 30 mil?
Who, Christensen or Rudiger?
No, Rudiger.
30 mil rings around about a bell.
Yeah, something around that.
Something like that, yeah.
Speaking of Rudiger,
I just think down here. I think that most people will probably consider Christensen to be the better centre-half of the two, and he'd be worth more money. But I actually think, realistically, Rudiger is the best centre-half.
Debatable, but I can...
For Chelsea.
Yeah. I can either or in it. I agree with you on the fact that if we could get rid of both and get two centre-backs, I'd rather we just do that because neither of them are really the answer. But Are you looking at this down below about Liverpool potentially being interested in Rudiger? I've seen this going around the last day and a half. I don't know how realistic it is, but what are you feeling?
Well, it's the same reason that I would be slightly tempted to keep Rudiger, is why Liverpool want to go and get him for 20 million quid. is because he's physical. If Van Dijk or yes, big up Conor.
Big up Conor.
If Van Dijk or Gomez or Matip go out injured for whatever reason, Rudiger can fill in for that person because he's got the physical elements to it. Christensen wouldn't have that, which is why they're interested in him and not Christensen. As much as again, a ball playing centre half and playing out from the back is lovely, you do still have to do it at a physical level as well. And I just look at it and think Rudiger, his range of passing is good, not elite. He's a solid footballer. He gets a foot in. He puts a challenge in. He does all right. He does enough. He is probably, for an elite Premier League club, a substitute centre-half. For a average Premier League team, he is their starting centre-half. So Liverpool wanting to take him for 20 million quid makes a lot of sense, but he would not get game time there, which is why I don't see him going there, because really he wants to be getting in the German national team. And you ain't going to do that unless you're playing.
Nah. What are you feeling about what Conor's saying, though, about Declan Rice potentially for centre-back? Because me, I don't mind. I'm okay with Declan Rice joining, but I think we need an experienced centre-back. And I think that's what we need more right now.
Declan Rice at centre-half is not the answer for Chelsea. I've kept banging on about it all the time, and I keep saying about Lewis Dunk. Lewis Dunk would be...
I've heard his name a couple times
perfect.
too.
Perfect. He would be perfect for Chelsea. He's just an experienced leader. We're not expecting him to go and be absolutely elite, but just go and be that experienced person, the calm, influencing head. Just go and do it. Where Declan Rice isn't that. He's a midfielder that someone wants to try and change into a defender. Now, again, I understand the point of buying him because you can get one person who can do two roles. I get that. It's like what we used to have with David Luiz, like 2012, 2013. Play him centre midfield, play him at the back. You had options. But it's not the elite way forward. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not elite.
Yeah, I think with Declan Rice, I wouldn't mind it, but it's the same thing what I was saying previously. If you get two centre-backs and we get rid of Rudiger and Christensen, Rice and an experienced centre-back that he can learn from. Maybe if you're talking about Lewis Dunk and Declan Rice, I'd go for both of that. And to be honest, we know because we saw the link on the Times that came out a couple of days ago is saying that Chelsea have to sell in order to buy when it comes to their defenders. We know one centre-back is going to be going. We know one left-back's probably going. Realistically, it's probably going to be Emerson. That's the left-back that's going. I heard Inter Milan are interested. Apparently, Czech's trying to look at putting Skriniar plus cash into a deal for Emerson going the other way. I don't know. No, Emerson plus cash for Skriniar. I don't know how realistic it is, but I would say he's a great centre-back. I just don't know if Inter Milan are really going to sell their best centre-back, especially for Emerson.
Yeah, I don't think they will either. To be fair, I watched a game last night, and Ashley Young actually didn't do a bad job playing wing-back for them.
I don't know what it is with Conte and just turning average players into something sick, but he knows how to get the best out of them.
Did you watch a game last night?
No.
Moses shaved all his hair off. He's got a mohawk, and you knew he meant business.
What?
Yeah. Go and have a look at it. He's got a mohawk. It's unreal.
Oh, I need to see this.
Highlights.
It's unreal. It's unreal. You looked at it and thought, shit.
I saw the goals, but I was only really looking for the Havertz goal. For that, I wasn't really that interested. But I need to have a double look at that now if you're telling me Moses has got a fucking
do it. If you watch the highlights, he has a shot on target. He takes on 3 people. It's a target. But
Even saying Skriniar's falling out with Conte, that's mad. That'll be a big turn if that's actually true.
It'd be different if they get Champions League football because they win Europa League.
Oh, yeah, that will turn things around. That would. By the way, 229 guys watching us live right now. Big up all you guys watching us down on the stream below. Send us your comments in as well. We're just doing a live Q&A, so just send us anything. Look at this one, though. What do you think about signing benrahma as a Willian replacement? That is a key depth signing, and that's the signing. That's the sign of a big club if we do something like that.
Absolutely perfect. It reminds me a lot of Solomon Kalou.
In what sense?
I love Kalou. He was never the best player at the club, but my God, did he do a job for us. You just knew when he was on the pitch that you were always going to be all right. You never looked at him and thought, oh, my God, Kalou's coming on, which is what I've seen in previous years with especially some of the forwards. I see a lot of people do it about Callum Hudson-Odoi, and again, maybe I think it's a bit premature, but they still do it. Where I look at benrahma and think, you're never going to go and be elite for us. You're never going to go and be the main guy, but picking him up for 25, 30 million quid to replace Willian is absolutely perfect. The other good thing as well, and I always get it wrong where he's from, he is Algerian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Africa, as a footballer, if you play in the Premier League, you are pretty much the best player in your national team.
Yes.
And all you're really focused on is getting better. So when it comes down to your national team, you're going to be able to win silverware for them. And you're going to go and be the main star in your particular country. It happened with Drogba, even when Drogba was out of it.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, because I just remembered the African Cup of Nations is coming around December as well. So he could be looking for a move to a Premier League club with that. A lot of clubs are circling now as well because Brentford lost a playoff final to Fulham as well. They need money
because they've got their new ground.
People say Mara's Algerian though, but bro, it's two good players in the team. Yeah.
Yeah, they play on opposite wings.
Saying benrahma's good for squad depth. Literally a big problem for us over the last couple of seasons that our depth has been poor. Benrahma is great squad depth.
We've had good squad depth in one area, which has been midfield. But realistically, it needs to be all over the path. I think benrahma wanted to try and take his game to the next level. Look, I mean, for all I know, hey, he could come in and he can be absolutely fantastic and he could set the world alight. But realistically, I think he's going to come in and be a bloody good player from us from the bench, play a bit for us in Europe and in a couple of League Cup, FA Cup, whatever. Gets a run of form going, who knows what can happen. I think it's a really good move. I think it's a fantastic move.
Do you think he's got the potential to break through into the first team?
He does, yeah, of course he does. He's a player that reminds me a lot of the likes of a Joe Cole as well. It's one of those ones where he's on form. If he's on form, he's on form. If he's not on form, then it's okay, you know. But still, to bring him off the bench for 20 minutes at the end of a game, or you know, maybe let's say Chelsea are 2-0 up, 3-0 up potentially, and you look at Pulisic and go, yeah, I just don't want to risk you because you've got a Champions League game here. He goes and gets half an hour at the end of the game, just goes and rips it up apart, and you go, okay, now I've got somewhat of a selection problem. Can get a goal here and there, and it makes a 2-0 or a 3-0 win into possibly a 4 or 5-0 win, and it makes us look that much better. I think he can change the game, and I think he'll be really willing to prove a point. I just think it's a perfect buy, especially if you can get him for the right price. I think it's a perfect buy.
Yeah, for the right price, I think they're saying around 20, 30 million. That's a perfect deal. Everything sounds beautiful. Moving on to goalkeeper replacements, though. Who would your ideal goalkeeper replacement be for Kepa? Because we know Chelsea are going to get a goalkeeper regardless of whether Kepa stays or leaves. So who's your main choice?
Well, me and you had this discussion the other day. You want Oblak, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to happen. I would love Pope.
Oh, no, Oblak is very, throw it out there with all your balls on the table, but the cards are in the right place. I think if you really wanted to...
Are they really?
They are. They need the money. They need to lose one of their assets, and I think depends on how much you could sell putting Kepa in the deal for, it could work. It could.
I would still take Pope over Oblak. I must be honest. I still think we need to go and get a Koulibaly. So for me, I think to go and spend that much money on an Oblak deal would be slightly irresponsible. Or I think you can get a proven Premier League goalkeeper in Pope for 40 million quid. And it's one of those ones where if it doesn't work out, I mean, we've had players in the past that have been 40 million quid. Hasn't worked out, and then all of a sudden we move them on, and then it starts to go again. It's like Jorginho, we paid 57 million for, something like that.
More or less, yeah.
Something like that. It's not working out, we're moving them on, that's fine. But if you go and spend 110 million, the equivalent of 110 million on Oblak, and it don't work out, then...
Yeah, but Oblak is like the best goalkeeper in the world. I mean, there's not a lot of risk that it wouldn't work.
I don't know that for a fact. I don't know that for a fact. He's a good keeper, and again, he's in Spain, and he comes up against some good opposition. So if you play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, it's a bit harder. But when you play for Atletico Madrid, you know you come up against two classic elite European sides every year, at least twice. Where Atletico Madrid in some years have been good, they've been bad. You know, it's a bit up and down about them. If you play for Atletico Madrid in goal, then yes, I do agree. You're playing against world-class opposition multiple times a season. And I can understand where you're coming from. But Spanish players to the Premier League, there's been a few that have been great, but there's been many of them that have been absolutely woeful. And I just would not be I wouldn't be willing to put 100 million into doing a deal like that when you've got someone who's already Premier League proven. And again, Pope might be great in Europe. He could be fantastic. But if Pope doesn't work out and you can have a go, you go, oh, okay, we tried it, it didn't work. He becomes a backup keeper, or we sell him on. That's fine, and we maybe have a look in a few more in a couple of years' time. But like we did with Kepa, if you go for Oblak, he has to be the guy for so many years in the future.
Nah, but with Kepa, we just got bent over a barrel because of Courtois. That's the reason why Bilbao pulled 70 million out of us. Courtois left literally the last week of the transfer window when AWOL refused to show up to training, just snaked the whole thing, and he was gone, and we needed a new goalkeeper. By the way, whoever scouted for Kepa needs to be sacked straight up. Because out of all the goalkeepers in the world, they picked one with an even worse goal percentage as the seasons went down. I tried to defend him, but bruv, I've already said that Liverpool game was a tipping point for me.
Yeah, I've been the same. I like the guy, and I tried to give him all the help that I could, but I mean, performances speak for himself.
A lot of people are saying Areola, though.
I was just going to say that. I don't know how much we're allowed to give away. We know someone who potentially wanted to go and have Areola when the Kepa deal was going through. And we know someone that wanted it done at Chelsea. Wanted it all to be done, and he was their first choice, 1,000,000% hands down. He is going to be the guy. And then just like that, it all went away, and Kepa joined us. And then certain individual wasn't seen much around Chelsea anymore.
Interesting.
And I'm not going to be the one who
everything.
I'm not going to be the one who says it is, but I think that Areola would be a good move. I think it would be a good move, but Chelsea obviously didn't pick him for a reason before. Are Chelsea going to pick him now? I don't know.
They're also saying Vinicius being linked with Chelsea. That's another one where I don't know how sure I am of that one happening, but
yeah,
that's come out of nowhere too.
I think it's a bit bollocks, to be honest with you. Exactly. Again, it's every single young individual being linked with Chelsea. It always happens. I did see something 603 million buyout.
Because we have to be at this point where we're like, how many wingers and midfielders are we trying to have?
Yeah.
Like, are we just trying to hoard anyone under 23 with over 85 potential on FIFA or something? Yeah, maybe get rid of Barkley. I wouldn't even mind.
Oh no, Barkley does need to go. Barkley 1,000,000% needs to go.
Yeah, that's another one. That's freeing up the wage bill. We've got rid of 220k now with Willian and Pedro gone. So the clear out's actually going really well this season. And we've been waiting for this for a good couple seasons now.
He just needs to pick up a little bit more. Ever so.
Any other final questions, or we'll just end up wrapping this one up? I want to try and see if I've got anything on the Twitter page as well. Have you heard any other rumours coming out recently? Because bar that, it's been a really quiet day.
Tagliafico looks like it's more of an option. I saw that.
Really?
Apparently, Ben Chilwell, Leicester want basically double the fee that we were willing to pay, which is, I think we were willing to pay 43 million. Tagliafico looks like it's going to be 25-30 million. I said it before, I'm a big fan of Tagliafico. I think he'll be a great buy. I can never see this guy's name. Reguilon, how do you say his name?
Reguilon, I think. Either or, in it. No one's going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I think he's good. I just think he's slightly too small. Because he's 5'8". That's smaller than you.
I think that's same height. Or maybe just inching above him or something like that. Either way.
I like the idea that Chelsea are going to go for this unknown quantity, and he's been obviously one of the best players in the league this year, but I just think 30 million would be, again, a little bit irresponsible for us.
I've been looking at the stats compared to Chilwell, though. Chilwell's got better aerial ability, but bar that, it's they're very even, but Reguilon's just that little bit better than him. It's very little,
what league is he doing it in?
Better.
What league is he doing it in?
La Liga, but he's doing it with Sevilla and not Real Madrid.
Yeah. Still have to play the likes of Alaves and...
I swear La Liga's been getting more competitive, though, the last few seasons.
It's more competitive in and around the top 6. Top 6, top 7, but the rest of them it is still a bit...
Oh, they're saying 5'11". He's definitely taller than me, then.
5'11"? Are you sure?
That was a couple comments. That's someone 5'10", 5'9".
Is he a defender?
Left back.
Okay.
His game tonight. I think Sevilla's playing tonight.
They are. I'm really going to do a player analysis on him. Did you watch my player analysis by any chance?
No, but I definitely will be. Again,
Thank
also Aarongee2003 Football if you guys haven't checked out already.
178
Tagliafico's 5'7".
centimeters. I don't know what that is in feet.
5'7", a defender.
Yep.
You're joking.
Yeah. Oh, this will be decent. We'll make this one the last questions. Do you think Abraham will go out on loan with Werner and Giroud now in the club?
No.
Talika's begging for it.
Please.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Again, if you let go of Batshuayi, then maybe. But if you don't let go of Batshuayi, then maybe. But I think Batshuayi has to go.
Batshuayi, that's one where it's even more finished than Barkley, in my opinion. If we keep him, it's really the shit that don't flush.
The only way I think we keep him is if we can't get the right fee for him, because I think we still should be looking to get 30 million quid for him. And as I said to you, you might be more likely to sell him in January when someone goes, "Oh shit, we need a forward," rather than at the moment where people go, "No, I'm going to back the people we've got."
I think I heard Crystal Palace were interested, and to be honest,
that was always going to happen. But I've got a little prediction for you. What I think is going to happen. Oh God, that's a bad comment. What I think is going to happen is I have a weird feeling Man United are going to end up signing Wilfried Zaha.
Really? Because they've been trying to push this Zaha to Arsenal agenda again.
Yeah. They're just signing Willian and the link with Coutinho as well. It just doesn't make any sense. I think Man United could be in for Zaha again for around about 30 million quid. If it happens on the last day, which is potential, then that means that they might have no other option but to go and get Batshuayi to potentially replace him. So
Batshuayi and Benteke link up. I don't know whether that's amazing or if that's just awful.
It's like Crouch and Defoe.
Oh, I feel like that's peak on Defoe, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Anything else, guys? Or we'll just wrap this one up because this has been a very good stream, to be honest.
That is a very weird comment.
Met you lads in real life before. I need to remember who this guy is because I'm really bad with faces. I'm always a name guy.
Well, his face is an anime character. We got no idea.
I told you guys take Sancho. We'd still take Sancho shamelessly.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Oh shit, you wouldn't.
No,
that just threw it completely in the mud.
No.
To be honest, it would be a bit of a horde job at this point if we did something like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's all right. I just think we need more experience in the side. As much as we all love these youngsters, we need more experience. And Ziyech is better than Sancho will be in that regard. So it just makes no point for me.
He said he met us in Imperial War. Okay, I remember that. Hey, if you want the kit, let me know. I'm still trying to get rid of mine. Okay, last question. What's this one? No, we done Regulon or Chilwell already, haven't we?
Yeah, Chilwell.
Okay, we'll go for one of the last questions from the Twitter guys. We'll keep this a simple one.
It's so bloody up.
Trust me. I'm going out to kick ball at this afterwards in scrubs as well. I need to just get out of here.
Oh. Played a double header over there years ago.
Who's the better YouTuber, Lewis or no? No, I'm good.
Over Iain.
Yeah. If you're around White City, come over. Kicking ball.
Bugger that.
Last question. Yeah. What do you think predictions are for next season, just based off the squad we have right now?
I think we get third. I think Liverpool's 99 points gets lowered. I think there's been some dreadful sides in the Premier League this year, and I think everyone accepts that they've been poor this season. So I think we'll get closer to them. I think people will take more points off of Liverpool, some more draws and things like that. But with the games are going to be in such quick succession, it's going to be so hard to predict. I think we'll get third, and I think it's going to be really close. I think Liverpool still win it by maybe 10 points or something like that, or maybe 8, 9, 10 points, something along those lines. I think we'll be a lot closer to Man City, and I think Man City the following year will be even better, and that's when we're really going to see who the best team in England is. But my main worry, honestly, about next season is Spurs.
Spurs have gone very under the radar, haven't they?
Yes, which is really, really fucking alarming. Because they've got Europa League, so they're going to be able to have some pull power with some of their big players. But I just think I just think they could potentially be a sleeping giant.
Winning mentality, who hoards trophies, he should be winning that Europa League.
He should. He should.
Really
he definitely should. And again, if they get Champions League because of it, then there we are.
Then that's just their entry for him. He'll be happy with that. And I've been saying this since the moment he joined. If Jose Mourinho leaves Tottenham Hotspur without a trophy, Tottenham are finished. If big Jose Mourinho can't even win them a trophy,
that's very fair.
Trophy hoarder Jose, no.
Is that not more true? Jose's finished rather than Tottenham's finished as a club?
Nah, I still always rate Jose. Always. I think depending on the right team, the right system he'd get, but I don't think Levy's going to give him the same resources that other clubs would.
It's a special one. It's a special one for a reason.
Yeah, but he also gets very pissed off when he doesn't get what he needs.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
Exactly, I'll probably end up leaving.
Right, yes, I think we're going to end this broadcast here. Guys, this is the first ever live stream that I've done on this channel. So if you guys enjoyed this and you guys want to see this more, let me know down in the comment section below. We'll make this a more regular feature. Don't forget to check out Craigo28. Yes, I got the hand point right. Check out Craigo28 Football and Craigo28 Sports. I'll leave a link down in the description to both of those channels. Talika's waving as well, but we're not going to turn the camera around.
Hi.
And yes,
do it, turn it around. Turn it around.
You dickhead.
I'm just getting
right.
It's cool.
I'll see you guys very, very soon. Like and subscribe. Smash that bell notification button too, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Up the chels. And